the diversity movement, we're all leaders. This is something that our CEO talks about all the time. It's something modeled from the very top. How are you cultivated as a leader by your supervisor, by your team, by the organization?
Yeah, every piece of me as a leader is being developed in every way here. And so whether that is on the acquisition side and business development side, I get to kind of shadow and with our VP of business development, get a shadow with our CEO. So I'm on those calls as well. Any other area of leadership, my supervisor, who I directly report to, Jamie, is just outstanding, a wonderful sponsor, and just learning her organizational skills and operational skills as well. And so I'm being developed very good.
I kind of like to say that I stumbled into this job, and I'm so grateful I did. I knew when I graduated I wanted to work for a company that was mission driven. I find that I'm a lot more invested in my work when I care about what the company is doing. Yeah. And so that's kind of the happy accident of how I ended up here. And yeah, I think the mission driven work really keeps me. And then also, like, our team is amazing. I have a really supportive manager, and I think that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like what brought you, it's kind of serendipity. You're here, and then you're discovering your why, and those values that you bring align with the diversity movement's values, and that kind of drives your work forward and helps you be better at the work that you do.
One thing that really sticks out to me is Don was in my interviews. Like, the CEO was in my interview.
Yeah.
And I kept asking, I was like, how does this position fit into the company? And like, the position that I was interviewing for does not have a direct line to the CEO, but it really meant something that like, the CEO wanted to have a part in. And also, he didn't drive that process. He was just there as a voice in my interview and hiring process. I think I'd asked a question, and Don was answering, even though the question was directed at Jamie. He did this with permission.
Yeah.
But there was not that, okay, Jamie, now how do you really feel kind of moment. And it was like, okay, so this guy, like, knows his team. Like, he's intentionally built a culture of people that feel like they can be authentic and honest and open and transparent if like, he can basically answer for this person and do it correctly and well, without her feeling like she needed to add anything even. Like, it was like, he was in touch. So that was cool.
And that takes time and intentionality.
Right.
Yeah. As a new person, it's like, I'm still trying to figure my way around, and should I be nervous about making mistakes? But what I'm hearing is leaning in with curiosity and being vulnerable to say, hey, I don't understand this thing, or hey, maybe I did make a mistake here. That's exactly the culture that we're striving for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason I feel comfortable doing that is because it's modeled from the very top, right? So Donald is the first to admit, I'm going to give you 5 ideas right now, and 1 might be good. Or, I make a lot of mistakes. I don't fire myself for making mistakes. I, fix it, figure it out, and move on. And so I think that's a really unique part of being here, is that we have leaders that are vulnerable and who, walk the talk and really model that from the very top of the organization.